Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Five Love podcast. I'm so happy you're still here with us. My name is Joel. I'm your host, and today I am very excited to have my guest, the one and only Kevin Dillon. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Joel. How are you doing today?
I am good. Welcome to Five Love.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, I like to get started by asking my guest, how did you get involved with tennis?
Yeah, so tennis came to me pretty organically. My twin brother plays tennis, and he saw Serena and Venus playing at 2002 Wimbledon, and I had no idea what was going on about tennis or anything like that. Didn't even know how he got into tennis. I was playing baseball at the time, and he needed somebody to practice with try to get on the middle school tennis team, and I was like, "Sure." It's like it has to be like baseball, right? Just swing the crap out of the ball and hope for the best, and, I got hooked immediately, and then we lived in, like, the rural area of North Carolina at the time, so not, much tennis going on, and we would hit against the garage
Hmm.
door, and my parents were like, "You gotta stop hitting against the garage door, it's getting dented." So then we would draw chalk lines on the street because there wasn't any close, so we'd have, like, a service line or a net, which would be, like, the center line, and then 2 other lines, and on the street, there's, like, these, like, divots, these curves, and that's how I kind of actually got my forehand down the line because I always wanted to try to hit the curve so he would be able to hit it. And then eventually, we actually got to play on a court and kind of all went from there.
Yeah,
Self-taught completely.
it's a really good story because you guys didn't have resources, but you didn't let that
No,
stop you. You
not at
innovated,
all.
you used whatever you had, and I can say I played against you in Toronto, but it was a practice session. And
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't easy. So yeah, nice story. And
Yeah,
do you
thanks.
still play baseball?
No, no, not
Oh,
at all. I stopped very shortly after. I
okay.
kinda dropped all my other sports and went right into
Yeah,
tennis, shortly after that. Maybe like a couple years after, I was still playing soccer,
yeah,
and I was just enjoyed tennis more, I was better at tennis,
yeah.
and, my brother and my parents, they couldn't afford t 2 tennis playing,
Mm,
sons with lessons or anything like that, so the best thing that they could do was purchase a new channel called Tennis Channel, and at the time, it was brand new in 2003, 2004, and we ended up, just watching matches, so many matches, and then we looked in the tennis magazine, and we saw a local tournament, and that's how we got into junior tennis, and didn't obviously have, like, great results, but, beating players who come from privilege or, a
yeah,
big tennis background always excited us, and,
yeah,
my brother and I were larger size, so we were always sore thumbs at these different tournaments and playing high school tennis, and, you know, I always like, tennis is kind of we have Cinderella stories, especially in all sports, but I think a lot of the times in tennis, having Cinderella stories where you have really interesting players who have, unorthodox games or they come from a small
mhm,
country. Like look at Alex Ciala coming from the Philippines,
yeah,
you know, and they're, showing, what they can do with the little resources that they have. So I think tennis is one of those rare sports that you can truly see that from small countries to larger ones as well.
yeah. That's very true. Speaking of tournaments, I see you have your GLTA shirt on. What?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you just came back. You went to the World Championships? Oh, that was
No,
in
this is a
2024.
2024. Yeah, I went to
Okay.
Australia.
So what tournaments do you have lined up for the rest of this year?
I have the Columbus Classic in a couple of weeks,
Oh,
in
wow.
Columbus, Ohio. It's a Masters, and I was thinking, oh, I just won Indianapolis in C singles. That was my goal for the year. Thank you. Made a couple of B doubles finals, so indoors is my bread and butter. I from the Midwest, so it makes sense to, try to play as many indoor as possible. But now we're heading into the outdoor season, and with the weather, it's been
Yeah,
insanely hot. So I'm a little nervous to see how I do in Columbus. I want to do well. I would love to qualify for Worlds again.
yeah.
In 2025, I wasn't able to do that, or I was supposed to play Worlds. Unfortunately, I had a pulmonary embolism,
Oh
and
no.
I
Oh,
wasn't able to. On the day I was supposed to leave, I was hospitalized. So I was confident going in there. I thought I was going to win, and my brother texted me, he was like, "Yeah, you probably were going to win your division." And I was like,
yeah.
so now I'm just using that as motivation, and I've had a huge weight loss journey in the last year or so. I've lost over 100 and almost 150 pounds in the last year. So I'm really excited to see how I do. So I have Columbus, and then I'm going to be playing the Peach in Atlanta over
Okay.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm playing Nashville, brand new tournament in October. And one of our local guys who lives half the time in Orlando lives half the time in New Orleans, and he's bringing back their tournament
Okay.
in October. So I'm thinking about possibly playing that tournament and then round up the year in Tampa.
Well, that's a very booked calendar. So I wish you well and
Thank you.
congratulations on all of your successes so far. You've been doing pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And I asked you ahead of time to prepare a hot take. So it's summertime and we want it hot. So give it to us.
Yeah. So originally, my number one hot take was going to be that the top players don't deserve more revenue. That was going to be my number
Mm,
one.
okay.
I Yes and no. More so, I think they should be grateful for what they have. But I'm not sure if you've heard of what's going on the doubles tour, especially with the ATP. I'm not sure if you've seen their
Yeah,
roadmap.
I can't really explain it, but I know that they're shifting the revenue split to give the top players more money, the top singles players more money, and the doubles players will get less, right?
Yeah, so they're
Mm,
basically so right now the split is 80% of the tournament is for singles, 20% is for doubles.
yeah,
And, I feel like the majority of the recreational players, especially here in America, but especially worldwide, are primarily doubles. That's what most people play with on the recreational level.
yeah,
And now they're trying to go from 80-20 to 90-10. And not only that, they're going to shrink the master straws from 32 to 16,
yes, I
and then the
saw.
normal like 250s, 500s from 16 to 8. And now, on top of that, they're going to give singles rankings priority rankings. So it's kind of a limit. I love watching doubles. When I visited, the Cincinnati tournament, when I lived there, when I went down to the Australian Open, when I played the GLTA Worlds, we were able to see really large crowds watching and cheering on for doubles. And some of the best matches and some of the best rallies are doubles. I don't agree with, what the ATP is doing. I understand why they're wanting to do that. But that's my biggest hot take is that, doubles does deserve the recognition that it hasn't gotten really before. And,
Yeah,
there is, a lot of, I think it's in the last 5-10 years, yes, it's been televised more, but I think there hasn't been, I think the marketing on both the women's and on the men's side can cater to doubles more. Absolutely.
I can understand what you're saying. Ultimately, tennis, like any other sport, is a business first.
Hmm.
And so I think they would obviously give priority to the stars that are going to be able to transcend tennis.
But do
So
you
wherever
think
they could get the marketing dollars. However, I do think a part of it could be um diverting resources to doubles so that you can develop those players as well and get more eyeballs on them. So I can see the argument for both. And I think what was done at the US Open was it last year or the year before, where they had some singles players play doubles.
playing the
It
mixed
was
doubles?
good in the sense that okay, you had more eyes on doubles. It kind of sucked for like career doubles players who didn't get into the draw. But I
Hmm.
think that it was a step in the right direction in terms of like getting people to pay more attention to doubles. Because you're right, it's quite exciting, the way that the doubles points are constructed. So yeah, that was a really interesting take. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if doubles has gotten the marketing that they put into their singles players,
Yeah, yeah.
do you think that we would be having, this type of discussion to where they're cutting those resources?
No,
Like
I agree.
the doubles players has never gotten a fair shot. And the reason why that, I kind of got into this hot take is because I know there are players on the Pro Tour that I've befriended that are double specialists that are not getting the recognition that they truly deserve for the hard work that they put in. So I think it's something that, if we just maybe move the resources to those players, maybe put them on center court, maybe put them on, on TV for a primetime match just to get that action. And, you did mention about, the US Open mixed doubles bringing in those singles players. It did bring, eyes to what doubles could be,
Yeah.
if marketed correctly.
Yes, yes. I agree. I agree. Because you have players like the Brand brothers who have a stellar career in doubles, but people really don't know who they are.
Exactly.
Uh, Even like Venus and Serena, who are 14 doubles titles in Grand Slams, and a lot of people don't even know that. So yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. So yeah, good take.
Thank you. I like to think
Oh,
so.
yeah. Are you ready to get into the main segment of today's podcast?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, good. Because you don't know the topic beforehand.
I sure don't.
And today we will be doing things a little bit differently. So instead of a blind ranking, we will be playing a game of what would you do?
Okay.
So I will tell you the scenario. They're all going to be tennis related scenarios, and you tell me what you're going to do and walk me through why you chose that option. Are you ready? Do you
Ready
need
as
some water? I need some water.
pick you up.
All right, let's go. Okay, so first scenario, it's break point. What would you do, Kevin? Would you go for a down the line winner, or would you play a cross court rally at break point?
Am I serving against breakpoint or do I have breakpoint?
That's a good question. You have the opportunity to break
Break my
your
opponent?
opponent's serve. Yeah, yeah. You have break points. So let's say it's 40. It's you're returning. It's 30-40, Kevin. Sorry, did I
Okay.
say that? Yeah, well, yeah, it's 30-40. You have 40, your opponent has 30.
Okay.
What would you do? Would you go down the line for a winner, or would you make a cross-court rally?
If you asked me this question a year ago, I'd probably say go down the line, be aggressive. But
Hmm.
now that I'm able to kind of make the points go longer, I probably would start cross court to start the rally and then try to have my opening for a down the line winner, primarily on the forehand if I could.
Yeah. Okay. So you would do the cross-court rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do the same too, because I just feel like on break points, you definitely wanna convert those. And down the line is such a difficult shot to get. It's gonna have to be the right ball, a short
Yeah.
ball when you step in. So I would do the same thing. All right. Scenario number two. Your opponent is at the net. What do you do? Would you hit a lob or would you hit a passing shot?
I'd probably hit it right at them.
That was not one of the options, but we do love your honesty. Walk me through why.
Just because if I wouldn't like try to like be a bullet and hit it right at the net. I'm not that type of person, but
Yeah.
I would try to hit it at them to kind of jam them because, it also depends on, the type of player they are or the type of conditions that they're in. If it's really sunny, I'd probably go for the lob, especially if
Hmm.
they're facing into the sun. But typically I'd probably go right at them because if you're coming in at the net, that means you're being confident, and I want to see how confident you're truly going to be.
When you said if there's a little sun, you'll try to lob, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that you like Martina Hingis.
I do. I mean, I'm a fan of hers. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not my
It
favorite, but I mean, she's very I like how crafty she is.
yeah, it just kind of seems like something she would do, you know. And the hitting right at them, it sounds a little bit like Ostapenko. Are you a fan of hers?
I am a fan of hers.
Okay. Let's move on. So, would you rather serve down the tee on the deuce side or hit a kick serve on the ad side?
Down the T.
Me too. That is my absolute favorite serve. But you talk me through why first.
I j- First it's the name of my of a defunct podcast of mine, Down the T.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Cool.
but also I think I don't know, I just love a good serve down the tee because you can slice it, you can hit it hard, you can just hit the line. And also I don't really have a kick serve. I have a
Right.
more of a slice serve.
Yeah.
If I had a kick serve, I'd probably use that, but no matter how
Yeah.
much I've tried, the kick serve is just never gonna happen.
I just feel there's something so satisfying about being able to hit that line on the tee with
Hmm.
accuracy. But also the reason I like hitting that serve a lot is because it takes away angles. Because sometimes you can hit a really good wide serve or kick serve, and then your opponent could just come up with an amazing angle by just sticking out their racket sometimes. And that really pisses
Yeah.
me off.
That's
That really
I feel like it's harder to get a good return on a down the tee than it is on
yeah.
the
Because what
uh,
other option do they have other than just hitting it straight back to the middle, you know? So I feel like going down the tee, it really sets me up for my second shot. Going wide, if to me, if you're gonna go wide, you have to place it well. Otherwise, the opponent gets an angle, and you know, we don't want that, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next scenario. You are serving at 15:30. So you're serving for 15:30. What would you do? Would you go for it on your second serve, or would you take your foot off the gas and try to land your second serve in?
I probably take my foot off the gas and try to get the second serve in. If it's a
Yeah.
second serve,
Yeah,
y-
second serve. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
probably. Are you asking me
Well,
these questions so you can figure out my game in the
yes,
next
yes. So
series of
then
tournaments?
next time I see
So
you, I know what
this is
I
why
know
you
what
have
to
your
do.
podcast so you
Exactly.
can ask your
Every
opponents. It's making sense now.
listen to me. Everyone who's been who's been on this podcast is on my list of people that I need to beat on the GLTA tour. So,
Duly noted.
but I have a motto, and my motto is you have one life, but you have two serves. So I would definitely go for it on my second serve. And I also feel like if I'm tentative on the serve, particularly the second serve, that's when I double fault. But I feel like if I'm going for it, like if I'm confident and I'm going for it, that's when I serve my best.
Yeah, I it depends. I feel like if there are times where if I'm mentally checked out and I just truly don't care anymore, like I'll probably like try to bomb the second serve and just
Yeah.
if you see me bombing second serves, that means typically I'm angry in the position that I'm in.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm learning now to kind of keep the games going, start the point out,
Yeah.
period, instead of just boom, 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 one, two, three.
Yeah. I got it. Okay. Next question. This is probably never going to happen, but if it does happen, what would you rather do? You have one of two options here. You get a chance to either A, return Serena Williams' serve, or B, serve to Novak Djokovic.
That is the easiest decision ever. Like, sorry,
Really?
like,
You think that's easy? Because
no. This is because I don't want to deal with Novak, period. So I would,
oh, okay.
yeah, I don't, I don't deal with him.
So you're confident that you will be able to return Serena's serve?
I mean, will he return it? I mean, I've
Let's
played.
let's say who Novak is out of the equation, right? Because he is the greatest returner of all time. So think about it. You got the chance to return Serena's save, which is one of the best saves of all time, or you get to save to Novak, who is the best returner of all time.
I just hate Novak personally. So if I didn't have to do anything with him, I would just choose Serena.
Okay.
But in that regard, I think I still would choose to have the chance to return against Serena's serve.
Yeah.
Only
Uns-
because I have played ITF pro tournaments that
mhm.
serve harder than Serena, so I know I could probably have a decent chance at returning her serve. So I would probably, and plus, like after that, like Serena and I could just like have a key and just like,
Yeah.
talk and see what's going
That's
on.
the reason I would want to choose Serena is because I would love to meet her. I just be like, oh my God, Serena, I love you. But I just don't trust myself to be able to return her save because she has such accuracy.
So
Um,
does Novak on the return. So
and
it's
that's the
like,
thing, right? Now, I'm not delusional. I don't think I could save to Novak. But the reason I would rather try saving to Novak is because I have control over the situation, regardless of whether he's Novak or not.
right.
And who knows, I might be able to hit a good save. Or I might be able to catch him with an underhand save, an
I was
underarm
about
save.
to say that's probably the only way we're ever going to get a point against.
You know,
But but he's probably hit against Bublik so many times that he's going to
he's
get
gonna get to the
anything.
underarm save anyway. I know, but I just feel like if when you're saving, you're in control of the point. So I would rather take my chances with Novak, but I know for a fact that he will destroy me. That return is gonna come back faster than I could ever save in my life.
Yeah,
But I mean, hey, it would be an honor to be on court with either of them. Is there
yeah.
anyone else? Is there anyone else you would rather put instead of Novak?
As like a to
A
try to
returner, a tough
return
returner. Yeah,
a tough returner.
yeah.
Ooh. Um, that's a great
Let's give you
question.
two. Two. You have one female and one male.
For a returner, not Apeche Terracard. Actually, I would want him to try to return against me because he's one of not the greatest returner. Um, so I probably would be able to, get a maybe a point against him on my serve. N-
What do you want to what do you want him to save to you?
no, absolutely not. That's not happening. Uh,
That's so
but that's a great question. I think one of the best returners on the men's game, I would, I don't know, for some reason, I was watching his match earlier before it started getting a little dicey, was Felix Auger
oh
Aliassime.
yeah, Felix is so good overall. We just
Yeah,
always injured.
yeah, I think I was watching his return against Davidovich Fokina
Wait, did
before
he match?
he did eventually,
Okay.
but I was about to say before things kind of he was returning really well, so that kind of sticks out to me. Um, on the women's side, I think Sabalenka or Pagula, those are the two that kind of strike to me as really good returners. I
Yeah.
think Coco used to be a better returner, but
Oh my God. By the time this airs, Wimbledon will be over. But Coco, I just watched Coco's match,
against
round four
Bencic.
match against who did she play?
She played Bencic.
Bencic. Oh my God. This is one of the most clutch games I've ever seen Coco play. Hats off to her.
To
It was
have, I mean, to be at 5-4 in the third set, knowing that you're going against the clock,
going
this is
against
the
time.
last
Yeah.
game, and it's good.
And
And that's actually a great kind of
she
segue.
won with 2 seconds to go.
Yeah, and what's really
So crazy.
crazy is, in tennis, you never have to play against the clock. And this is the
Yeah.
first time I think I've ever seen in all of my years
Same.
of tennis
Same. Yeah.
that you're playing against the clock.
Well, I think we should explain to people listening that I think there's a curfew in London.
Yep, midnight
So
curfew.
they have to shut everything down by a certain time. So that's why they had a clock. Yeah. But wow, that was amazing.
But
So okay, so you said
she shouldn't have been she should have been off court a while ago
she
before
should. I
that.
mean, Coco likes to take the scenic routes, but I'm gonna going off course here, but I think what she needs to do is come to net more, especially on grass. Because every time she came to the net, I would say she won maybe like 70% of the points.
People forget that she was a number one doubles player.
Yeah, I
So
think she because that
I
she was the number one doubles
I think
player.
she does forget that she is a
Yeah,
fantastic doubles player.
yeah. All right, let's take our foot off Coco's neck for a bit and come back to the main part. So you said Felix,
Mhm.
and who would be the female? Oh, you said Sabalenka or
Yes,
Pagula.
Sabalenka or Pegula.
Yeah. Okay. And the final question for today's "What Would You Do" segment. This is more of a would you rather than a what would you do. So, would you rather to try the whole serve? It's your second serve, and the score is 30-40. So, would you rather try the whole serve in that scenario, or would you rather try the break serve? It's their first serve, and the score for them is 30-40.
I would rather return.
So, you'd rather
I'd
break
rather
this.
break because once I
Okay.
get the break, I'll feel better on my next serve and feel more confident.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they say that a break of serve is only a break if you consolidate with a hold.
Consolidate it. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't you feel some pressure in that scenario?
I typically don't feel pressure when I have a break
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
Um, I if anything, I actually I feel pressure when I have a game point on my serve.
Mm. Okay. Okay, interesting. I feel like mm,
I'm very confident on my serve. I have a
you
really
should be.
I
I've
have
seen it.
when it's on, it's on. When it's off, it can get a little dicey. So
Yeah.
that's why I know I can have that serve in my back pocket. So I think that's
Yeah.
why I kind of uh try to take it more seriously on when I have a breakpoint opportunity.
I always feel more confident when I'm in control of the situation. So I would probably rather try to hold my serve at uh when I'm down 30-40. Because I feel like if I'm serving that I'm in control, but if they're serving and I have to return, then who knows if they may be able to pull an ace out of their back pockets, you know.
Yeah, and if they do, good for them. I'll still get that break opportunity. I always go in knowing that I'm gonna try to break every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Kevin, it has been absolute pleasure speaking with you, learning
Yeah,
about
thank
your
you for having
game.
me.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything you want to share with our fans or listeners before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I think the first thing is hashtag save doubles. Let's try to, keep, doubles alive. It's an integral part of the game of tennis. That's how tennis started if you look back in the history. But at the same time, let's
Oh, I didn't
also,
know that.
yes, and also let's watch women's tennis. My other
Yeah,
hot take was that women's tennis is more exciting than men's tennis.
I
So
would I would say that's not really a hot take because it's true. And there have been periods where women's studies, you know, I, I, I think it, I think
when
it
the
all
same
depends.
three men's players or two, three,
Yeah,
four men's players are winning for
yeah,
20 years in a row, and then you have
yes,
20 different women winning in a 10-year period, it I like variety, I like diversity. That's just
yeah,
how I am because I like to think I have a diverse background in my tennis.
yeah.
So that's, we can talk about that for another episode.
Let's talk about it for 2 minutes before we wrap up. Because the thing about tennis that I love is that tennis is not saying, hey, women are equal to men in terms of like strength or power, right? We know that the men are stronger. That's fine. We're not here to debate
Right.
that. But it shows that given the same opportunities, um, women could also bring a lot of attention to a sport. Let's look at somebody like a Serena Williams, for example, right? She is bigger than tennis. People are singing songs about her, they reference her in rap songs. Like nobody's doing that for Novak Djokovic. You get what I mean? I'm not talking about his abilities here, but I'm talking about how much a woman has been able to transcend the sport. Martina Navratilova being another one, Billie Jean King, right? I don't think you have male tennis players that are as big as them outside of the sport. Maybe John McEnroe, I don't know. Um, and I'm not shitting on Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal in any way, but like I said, nobody's writing songs about them. And then the other thing I would say is that I think that mixed doubles is a good opportunity to have, you know, I don't want to use the word equality, but equal access to both men and women. Because you have the men serving against the women serving against the men, and
Yeah.
they're sharing the same space. So yes, I would always advocate for women's tennis. But I just think that for right now, um, what women's tennis needs is a proper rivalry.
Yeah,
Because
because you see
on
the
the men's
Navratilova
side,
Evert, you see the Williams
yeah,
sisters, Sella Scrap.
exactly.
I
On the
thought we
men's
were going to
side,
start seeing that with, Sabalenka Rybakina. I thought we were going to start maybe seeing a lot more of that, but
I thought Naomi would have been the person to carry the flag because she also was pretty huge, but she kind of took a little time off. She's having a resurgence right now. But I would love to see a rivalry in the way that we have like Carlos versus
Yannick.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I think that
one more take before we end is I think we just need to get rid of. We're talking about, women and men want equal prize money. I think we need to get rid of best of five sets.
I disagree. I love best of five sets. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think maybe we could like maybe have best of five sets from the quarterfinals go on.
I'll agree with that. Also,
But
bring back the long sets. Bring back the 8-6s, the 9-10, the nine
oh
sevens, the
I love
twelve
that. I love that.
tens.
But no, for scheduling purposes, we really can't. We really can't for scheduling purposes. But I don't think women should have to play five sets.
No,
I think it's fine for best of three. But I do think the men should continue to play five sets. Even though the women have said that they are willing to play five sets.
I
I
don't think the
just
quality is going to be that great if women play best of five
yeah,
sets.
I love the tradition of it with the men playing five, the women playing three, but yes,
Yeah,
I am advocating for women's tennis always. Yes.
clock it.
Well, Kevin, this has been great. I would love to have you back again.
Yes.
Um, and to everyone who has watched today's episode, I want to say thank you. Please remember we are available on Spotify and YouTube. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. And remember, even if the score is 5-love, it's not over until the match is finished. I butchered that. No, I'm supposed to say, even though the score is 5-love, it's not over until the final point is played. That makes a lot more sense, right?
Boom, period. Ow.